and leadership have placed India on the global map with unmatched prominence. His exceptional diplomacy and service to the nation inspires every Indian. The clips of his diplomatic responses to supposedly difficult questions become viral on social media in no time. If we were to borrow a tagline from an old ad, he is truly neighbors' envy and our pride. A career diplomat, politician, author, and a proponent of the India Way, which also happens to be title of one of his books, Dr. Jaishankar wears many hats. A proud alumnus of the University of Delhi, having graduated from St. Stephen's College, he understands the energy and ambitions of young minds. For students gathered here today, his journey is a testament to how strong foundation in education coupled with vision can shape leaders who make a global impact. We are deeply honored by your presence, sir. Let us again welcome him with a warm round of applause. Accompanying our distinguished guests here are two towering academic luminaries. We have amongst us Professor Yogesh Singh, Vice Chancellor of the University of Delhi, whose commitment to academic excellence and innovation continues to inspire us all. A warm welcome to you, sir. We also have with us Dr. Payal Mago, esteemed Director of the Campus of Open Learning, whose tireless efforts have brought inclusivity to higher education. A heartfelt welcome to you, ma'am. To mark the beginning of this event, I humbly invite our guests to proceed for the ceremonial lamp lighting. Let us now immerse ourselves in the Diyu Kulgeet performed by our College Music Society, Swaranjali.
सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम देश की स्वाधीनता हित भूमि का शतकोटि वंदन निष्ठा विधि सत्यम के मंगल दिव्य भावों का समागम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित छात्र और छात्राएं दीक्षित सब चरित्राचार्य पावन साधना संकल्प संयम नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
I now invite Professor Yogesh Singh to present a token of our deepest appreciation and respect to Dr. S. Jaishankar. give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Now I request our Vice Principal, Professor Vijayani Rajpal, to felicitate Professor Yogesh Singh. Now I request Professor Alka Kakkar to felicitate Professor Payal Mango. Thank you, ma'am. To formally commence the program, it is my honor to invite Professor Yogesh Singh to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning. Namaste to all of you. Namaste. Dr. S. Jaishankar, Honorable External Affairs Minister, Government of India. Professor Payal Mago, Director Campus of Open Learning. Professor Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi. Professor Shri Prakash Singh, Director, South Campus. Professor Alka Kakkar, Vice Principal of the College and Coordinator of the program. Professor Vijay Rani, respected faculty members, students of Hansraj College and other colleges of University of Delhi. Good morning to all of you. Today is a great day. We have with us our alumnus, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is a doer and performer. तो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का स्टूडेंट कैसा होना चाहिए? ऐसा होना चाहिए. We are proud of you, sir. He has done his graduation from Stephens College. He has done his graduation from Stephens College, Masters and PhD from JNU. So he has seen different universities. He has done very well. He was ambassador. He was Foreign Secretary 15 to 18, Ambassador to United States 2013 to 15, China 19 to 13, Czech Republic 2000 to 2004. He was in Foreign Services. He did extremely well, which is expected from a student of University of Delhi. So he should be your role model. If he can do it, you all can also do it. Recipient of Padma Shri in 2019. So such an accomplished, outstanding and distinguished journey. We are proud of you, sir. Dr. Jaishankar possesses a rare gift for diplomacy. His ability to see the bigger picture and make astute decisions set him apart. His approach to diplomacy is not just about immediate gains but also securing long-term advantages for India. So he sees long-term interest of India. So we can confidently say that we are in the right hand. We have Honorable Prime Minister and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. It is a matter of pride to all of us. There is a saying in Sanskrit shlok, उद्यमेन ही सिद्ध्यन्ति कार्याणि न मनोरथी नहीं सुप्तस्य सिंहस्य प्रविशन्ति मुखे मृगा. आप सबने सुना होगा कि कोई भी कार्य केवल इच्छा करने से नहीं होता, बल्कि उसके लिए प्रयास करना पड़ता है. जैसे सोए हुए शेर तो शेर है, पर फिर भी हिरन उसके मुंह में अपने आप नहीं आ जाता. That's why in India we need doers, we need performers, and he is a doer, performer, and taking care of interest of our country. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi said about him, he has diligently served the nation and worked towards strengthening our foreign relations. Prime Minister said about him, so such a personality is with us, and the topic is Youth for Viksit Bharat. As we know, Honorable Prime Minister has taken a sankalp that India will be a developed nation by 2047. This is not his sankalp now.
And opening the house to students,
I have few queries in my mind. First of all, you are alumnus of University of Delhi and now a celebrity administrator also and minister also. Sir, if you can share some of your experiences of University of Delhi which you fondly remember, so that will be great for the students.
First of all, let me say it's really wonderful to be back here and Vice Chancellor, all the students. तो जो आप कह रहे थे अगले बार आप लॉन में कर लीजिए and what you are saying that now we proudly say we are Indians. In fact, I want to tell you, non-Indians also say they are Indians now. उनको लगता है कहीं प्लेन में एक सीट मिल जाएगा. So, but really, it's very, very good to be here. Or Vice Chancellor Sahab, I want to tell you something. Yes, I am alumnus of Delhi University, but we are family alumni of Delhi University. Okay. My mother studied in Indraprastha College. Oh. My wife studied in Miranda House. My brothers and sisters studied Delhi School of Economics. One other brother studied with me in St. Stephen's and then in the maths. He did his maths. And I had uncles and aunts. So if I go around Delhi University, that I can find lot of connections. So I say that because when you come back to a university, to any place where you have association in your youth, in your impressionable years, it can be college, it can be school, it can be the same place where you grew up, wahi locality aap jaएं. So there is a memory, there are associations, there are feelings which come back. And in fact, when we were driving in today, because that was the route, mostly of U Special, that is how we used to come in. And it was a different era, It was an era किसी के पास phone ही नहीं था. Can you imagine life without phone? Can any of you last one day without a phone? So no phone. No. अच्छा किसी के पास गाड़ी नहीं थी. Few lucky people had two-wheeler. बाकी लोग बस में जाते थे. I would say the biggest thing you could do in that week or month, चलो movie देखने चले गए. Uस time OTT था नहीं, TV था नहीं. So in fact it was very interesting. About 2 months ago, I was releasing Mohinder Amarnath's memoirs. Cricketer हैं आप सब जानते हैं. So and now I have one rule. Until I read a book, I don't release it. Okay, because you never know. पता नहीं क्या होगा book में, may get you into trouble. But when I started reading it, his cricket part was very interesting. I'm very myself interested in it. So which match, किसने क्या कहा, दूसरे side में striker ने कैसे run out करवाया, all those things are there. But to me, one very interesting part is, because he's roughly my age, that the life of that period, when you are 18, 19, 20, what today, what were big things for us then? Those days, eating out was big thing, because most middle class families, we did not have that kind of incomes really to look at it. So you reflect sometimes, how much life has changed. But there is one fact, one reality which I must share with you. You are young once, enjoy life. Yes, you all have to study hard, do well, do your best. But don't let that take over, don't let the weight of expectations or the pressure of life take over your life. Enjoy that life, because at the end of the day, time passes. I can tell you that. So make the most of your time.
Definitely, sir. To continue this only, I heard you saying that do what you want to do, not what others want you to do. And this is what you have done in your life. After St. Stephen's College, you joined IIT Delhi, and one fine day when you were there on IIT Dhaba, you came to know that there is opening in JNU, and you joined JNU after leaving IIT Delhi MSc Chemistry. So, what lessons which you can give to the youths out of your life experiences?
Look, you are now making me look like some kind of guru. I'm a very normal person. I can tell you. I mean, see, when you are, say, roughly about 20, some people are very clear कि करना क्या है life में. Many people, if they are honest with themselves, they don't know. Why did I do whatever subject I did? Because somebody told me, brother told me, father told me, mother told me. या क्लास में सबने किया तो हमने भी कर दी. Actually, how do we make decisions when we are young? जो अगल बगल वाले हैं, friends, family, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncle, ऐसा ही होता है. तो not everybody knows early on what they want to do. Not everybody's first choice is always the last choice. So in my case, when I was doing my MSc, I would have done reasonably well. I don't think I would have been a great student of chemistry. I mean, I would have been a maybe above average student of chemistry. But I always had an interest in history and politics. So at some stage I asked myself, should I not be doing what I really want to do? Now, it's sometimes not easy because again, one of the changes in our era, today many more professions have happened, many more courses, you look at lines of study. Our era was much more pressurized कि भाई वो science करना है, good people do that, उसके बाद engineer बनना है, there was a certain set path. So it took lot of courage.
Yes, sir.
And most people, when they are faced at 20 with difficult decisions, they go to their mother, not to their father. You first tell mother कि मुझे ये करना, if you can, upsetting कर लीजिए घर में, then I will tell everybody. So it was, but I felt, at the end of the day, because it was something you wanted to do, you automatically then do well.
Yes.
Because nothing, now it is not like you are studying for something. You are actually enjoying your textbook, you are liking your lecturers. They become, in a way, your relationship with them becomes stronger. So, again, I don't give lifestyle advice. So, I will do 10 years later and grow my hair longer. वो सब करेंगे, उसकी बारी अभी नहीं आई. But right now, I just want to say, look, because I have 3 children, and I've given them also advice from time to time whenever they have asked for it. But my takeaway would be one: if you do what you like doing, it will automatically go smoothly. It will automatically go well. And secondly, everybody has to do their best. I mean, anybody who says that I always did well every time, every exam is lying. It doesn't happen. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody somewhere, in fact, somewhere else I mentioned to, I was at an Army Commanders Conference. So 1 year in my life I studied in a military school. तो ये आर्मी वाले बड़े ऑर्गेनाइज्ड लोग होते हैं. तो उन्होंने ना 7th class 1965 की रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकाली. आप सोचिए how much effort somebody had made. अब उनको लगा होगा कि भाई रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकाल के मिनिस्टर के सामने पढ़ लें तो he will feel happy. But they had not read the report card till I reached the conference. So when they opened the report card and saw what was in the report card, बंद कर दिया. So they said, ये अच्छा स्टूडेंट था, इसकी पोटेंशियल थी, and what you all say. So look, in everybody, the best you can do is your best.
Yes.
And I think it's important at that stage not to, not to feel pressurized,
Yes.
to feel comfortable. I'm not saying be lazy. I'm not saying take it easy.
Take it easy.
I'm just saying you know how much you can do. You have to pace yourself. You have to learn big challenges require. Also, I would say calm mind. Exam ho, assignment ho. It is important. At the end, what happens as you get older? You have more experiences. So, I mean, for me, I would say, if every day is like a test, and I have done so many tests, you take your test very calmly. Because आपने बहुत किए, आपने बहुत देखा. So you know how to handle it. So how do you pace yourself? How do you do your best? How do you, not put pressure on yourself? These are what we learn by going through this phase.
Thank you, sir. And maybe it was an unusual and difficult decision at that time, and it is the same now also, in fact. And but after taking that decision, you are very successful. You studied international relations, and you.
मेरे teacher अच्छे थे.
That's really good, sir. So, what is the difference you find between Dr. S. Jaishankar as a bureaucrat versus Dr. S. Jaishankar as an external affairs minister, and which role you like the most?
See, you have different phases of life. जो ब्यूरोक्रेट था उसके मन में कभी मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था कि एक दिन मैं पॉलिटिक्स में होगा, because in my family nobody has been in politics. So we were a certain era, many bureaucrats. My father was a bureaucrat, my brother is a bureaucrat, but many others were not. कोई teacher है, कोई I have कोई chartered accountant है, कोई doctor है. People went into different professions, but we were still basically a service family. That our world was that. This shift to politics happened by you can say accident or good fortune. Call it what you will. The name of it is Modi. He sort of, I won't say persuaded me, but he asked me, and in a manner in which there is only one answer. But I would also say, I tell people very honestly, I don't think anybody else would have asked me. And I don't think I would have said to yes to everybody. Because, I mean, leaving IIT to JNU was one big decision, but leaving Tata Sons for politics was another big decision. So it required you to have that, some belief, some motivation, something to make that big shift. And they are two very different worlds. I mean, उनकी contact तो होती है. I mean, bureaucracy deals with politics, politician deals with bureaucrat. When you are head of a ministry, which I was my last job before retirement. So, the secretary is the person जहाँ the secretary has to explain the bureaucracy to the minister, and the minister and policy to the bureaucracy. तो आप वो जंक्शन पॉइंट है एक किस्म से. तो थोड़ा बहुत समझ तो था. I used to travel with Prime Minister, तो वहाँ से भी you learn something. But it is still one thing to observe, one thing to even be in contact. I had a very good minister with whom I was very close, Sushma Swaraj ji. So to some degree, by working with her also you developed understanding. But in the foreign service we deal a lot with with politicians. क्योंकि जो भी देश के बाहर जाते हैं वो तो हमारे पास ही आते हैं उसके बाद. और बाहर वाला जो है, that's only us.
That is only you. So, sir, we are very fortunate to have you. And you said कि मोदी जी ने आपसे पूछा, and just told me
पूछा भी कहा भी.
So I'm asking this question in front of my boss. How is Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a boss?
You know, look, I would say in many ways he's a good boss. He's a good boss that it also depends on you. You know, it's like asking them, अच्छा वो आपका professor कैसा, teacher कैसा. Now different people will have different opinion, because it also depends how you respond, you know, to that professor or to that teacher. I frankly like him as a boss, for one, because he is tough. You can say the standards are tough, expectation is tough. काम जो दिया जाता है, that you know, you are he doesn't. I mean, he is guided by what he thinks the country requires, and उसको फिर वो soft नहीं करते. I mean, he gives you very sort of tough jobs, you can say. But the part which I like.
Here comes the question that what, according to you, is the idea of Viksit Bharat, and how youth can be a driver of Viksit Bharat?
You know, I would, with due respect, rephrase that question.
Okay, sir.
Because I will tell you, without youth, Viksit Bharat will not.
Not possible.
So, it will not happen, I tell you. Say, Viksit Bharat means, for whatever reason, you know, colonialism, शुरू में development model was not totally right. कोई माने अलग अलग कारण थे. Somewhere the fact was we had got left behind. You know, I mean, we had other countries in Asia, Southeast Asia, in Japan, Korea, China. You know, many of them had developed faster than us. Now, what is the challenge today? I cannot take the same road that they have taken and the same speed at which they drove the Gadi through that road. You know, I have to take something different to catch up. Now, that catch up is possible. That catch up is possible mainly because of technology. So, we have today, just think 5 years ago how much technology we used, or today how much technology we use. You know, once you started getting 5G, once we evolved, so many services are on digital delivery, what a change it has made. Now, who will drive this effort? Because we have to leapfrog. You know, we cannot take 20, 30, 40 years to do what other countries did. We don't have the time. And we have tools which will allow us to do it.
Right.
And those tools are best used by the younger generation, because they know the creativity of what you can do. You know, I've just come back from my last 2 trips were to America and to UAE, and in both cases, I was surrounded by people from the tech world. In tech world, for them, the average, they look at an average person who's about 30 years old. That is really today where the big ideas are coming up. Look at the tech world, see who are all the famous people.
Right.
So I would say it's very important. That's why today, see the change which has happened in last 10 years. 10 साल पहले स्टार्टअप्स की कौन बात करता था? डिजिटल की कौन बात करता था? Even say something like fitness.
Fitness, yes, sir.
Or idea, आप में से कोई, you try to take a loan. Nobody in a bank would give loan to anybody who's 30 years old.
Right.
because for them, आपका record ही नहीं, आपने कुछ नहीं किया, so you are incapable of doing anything according to them. So the idea of venture capital, of unsecured loans, of backing people in business, and it can be small, it can be big, even self-employed. People, we today, a lot of creativity will come from people. And it can be big people, it can be small people. Even a ready wala, if you give a ready wala a loan, they will make that ready into a bigger business.
Bigger business, right, sir?
So how do you change the mindset from a kind of bureaucratic, old-fashioned mindset to something more modern? I think that is key to Viksit Bharat. But since I am in Delhi, at University of Delhi, I also want to say one thing. Delhi carries a very special responsibility. It carries a special responsibility because it is the capital of the country. जब दुनिया जो है भारत के बारे में सोचती है, the bulk of the opinion of the world वो दिल्ली को देखते हैं, दिल्ली आते हैं, जो उनका दिल्ली में जो भी अनुभव होता है, that is the impression image with which they go back. So Viksit Delhi, Viksit Rajdhani is very much central to a Viksit nation.
Right, sir.
There is a connection there, and that is why it is very important today that in every way from Delhi we set a standard, we set a model.
Yes, sir.
That it is a model for the country, but it is also a model, or I would say a message outside the country.
Very good.
Absolutely, sir. I can see a lot of curiosity on the faces of this intellectual youth. I would say intellectual youth, not only youth. सब लोग दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, कुछ फैकल्टी हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आप लोगों से आना चाहिए. अच्छा, so I can see that curiosity. Yes, please you can start. A bit loud. Tell your name only.
Name, class, college.
Name, class, college, and
Jai Hind, sir. I am Anuj from Physics Department of Hansraj College. Sir, my question is, how do you see Trump? As a friend or as a threat to India's interests?
भाई अभी उनके मेहमान बन के आए हैं. उनके शपथ ग्रहण में गए थे, अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट दिया हमको, अब उसी का अपना मैसेज होता है. नहीं, बट सीरियसली देखिए, वो आई फील वो एक किस्म से आई वुड कॉल हिम एन अमेरिकन नेशनलिस्ट. और उनको लगता है कि जो अमेरिका के लिए करना चाहिए, एंड बिकॉज अमेरिका इज अ वेरी, अमेरिका ने पिछले 80 साल में पूरी दुनिया की एक किस्म से जिम्मेदारी ली है, और उनको लगता है कि अननेसेसरली वी स्पेंड मनी ऑन मेनी थिंग्स वी शुड नॉट हैव डन, वी शुड हैव इंस्टेड फोकस्ड ऑन द अमेरिकन पीपल. ये उनकी सोच है. आवर इशू टुडे इज वी हैव आवर रिलेशंस विद अमेरिका आर गुड. Modi ji's personal relations with Trump is good. When I look, what are their policies, there is nothing which is country to country negative about us. So I am quite confident that yes, he will change many things. जो कभी-कभी हम लोग कहते हैं ना out of syllabus, वो तो बिल्कुल out of syllabus है. So we have to conduct foreign policy out of syllabus. And if you can conduct foreign policy out of syllabus, I think it will work well. But overall, I look, वो 2020 में भारत आए थे. He has very good impressions of that visit. जो मैंने सुना है वो अभी भी जब बाहर जाने की बात करते हैं, he often refers to that visit. मैं भारत आया था, मुझे आदर सम्मान के साथ लोगों ने स्वागत किया. So these things matter, But even interest-wise, I feel that there may be some few issues where we may think a little bit differently, but in many areas there would be at a country to country, there is lot which is in our shared interest.
Thank you, sir.
दोबारा से एक बार विकसित भारत पर आते हैं अगला क्वेश्चन लेने से पहले। एक हम सर बहुत बार एक लाइन सुन रहे हैं आजकल, यही समय है, सही समय है। और जब हम ये लाइन सुनते हैं और हमारे सामने ये पूरा यूथ बैठा है, तो दे आर एजेंट्स ऑफ चेंज ऑल्सो एंड दे आर बेनिफिशरीज ऑफ चेंज ऑल्सो। सो व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन अबाउट दिस लाइन, यही समय है, सही समय है?
My opinion of the line is definitely that सही समय है। देश के लिए भी सही समय है, लाइन के लिए भी सही समय। But see, there is one thing. Again, आपने मेरे से पूछा कि what is it like being a bureaucrat and then moving to politics. I would give people today, as someone in politics, not very long in politics, but I would give one message, and I would give this as a citizen, that it is very important when the young people especially should take interest in politics, not necessarily as a profession, but when it comes to political decisions and political choices. Because उस समय अगर आप कहेंगे भाई I have something more important to do, then for next 5 years you will say, सड़क ठीक नहीं है, वो ब्रिज क्यों नहीं बना, बस क्यों नहीं चली, रेल क्यों नहीं आया. It is happening because at the right moment you did not step forward to make the right choice. What choice you make is your business, but it is important, and what you should do, you should keep your own future in mind. I mean, जैसे मैंने कहा कि today I feel Viksit Delhi is important. I mean, to me, if all houses should get water, all people should have houses. People should be entitled to health. People should be, there should be a good infrastructure in this city. I mean, Vice Chancellor Saab, there should be more colleges in this city. When I come, I mean, this campus existed before I was born.
Yes.
During my time, South Campus came up. But when I look at it, last 20 years, there should be a East Campus and a West Campus and a Northeast. When I see many other countries which have developed, Asian countries which have developed, one of the things which have developed along with it is the number of colleges, number of institutions. And if we do not support education, we do not give people opportunity, we do not create infrastructure, we do not raise what is basic. I mean, to me today, I'm really troubled by the fact that on key programs have not happened in Delhi. Housing has not happened in Delhi. Water connection has not happened in Delhi. Now, we are supposed to be the example for the world, for the rest of the country. So, it's important for people to take interest in their own future. And when moment comes to make decision, as I said, what decision? Your choice. You have to think through yourself. But don't, अपने future पे please don't take free pass. ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी. This much you should.
बिल्कुल सर, absolutely. I am a botanist, but you are a political scientist. And politics में कहा जाता है, you get the government what you deserve. So what you said is कि आज से 10 साल बाद हमें लगे कि ये infrastructure नहीं बना, ये रेल नहीं बनी, ये पुल नहीं बना. So all these things, these students, they have to take very informed decision. And with that, we can take one more question. Yes, you. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Akriti from Northram College. I'm pursuing my honors in political science only. So, my question is regarding a very promising issue as we all are talking about future, that is climate change. We had a discussion about how we'll be having very promising industries in the future, how manufacturing is going to increase, how trade is going to increase. But the very challenging prospect, according to me right now, which the world is facing, and everyone is a stakeholder of that, is climate change. How I know that there are many steps taken at international and national level in the foreign policy as well as domestic policies of India. But my question is that, because this session is for the youth, how do you think that us everyone present over here, as a youth can become a leader for changes and development in climate change? What are the small steps that we can take, as you were talking about water management in Delhi? How can youth become a role model? How can we take this very small initiative and progress? Because if we change the our perspective about climate change, of course the world will, the nation will. So how do you think? What are the
Can I take one more question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, one more question. Yeah. From the back, yes.
सर मेरा नाम आदर्श सिंह है, सेकेंड ईयर स्टूडेंट। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि यूथ फॉर अ विकसित भारत एक इन्फ्लुएंसिंग यूथ कैसे बन सकता है, हम इन्फ्लुएंस कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आप एक इन्फ्लुएंसिंग पर्सनैलिटी है। पहले आपसे वेस्टर्न मीडिया डरता था, अब वेस्टर्न कंट्री आपसे इन्फ्लुएंस होती है, तो हम सही रहते हैं, तो हम एक इन्फ्लुएंसिंग पर्सनैलिटी कैसे बन सकते हैं? तो यही मेरा सवाल है, विकसित भारत के लिए हम इन्फ्लुएंसिंग कैसे हो सकते हैं?
तो let me actually, आप दो सवाल है ना, let me put them together in a way, क्योंकि आपका सवाल है how do you influence them on climate change, so वो भी influencing का ही सवाल है। तो you see, I will tell you the in a way the good news. I feel today that the average person will say around 20 to 25, उनको जो है climate change पे समझ भी है, and there is a commitment also, there is a preference also, which is actually a very good news. That in our country, younger people, not just, doesn't have to be college educated, doesn't have to be big city. I think generally the younger people understand today that this can be, there is a big threat if we don't do something. Overall people, if you look at it in terms of lifestyle, in terms of wastage, in terms of what should be done in terms of development, that understanding they have. आप लोगों को सोलर एनर्जी बहुत नेचुरल लगता है कि so what, and again I want to say it did not happen by itself. It took a leader. 10 साल पहले कोई सोलर एनर्जी की बात नहीं करता। सोलर एनर्जी था कहीं, none of, there was no solar panel which we actually saw largely in cities. I mean, it was these solar energy were tucked away in different parts. They had not become mainstream thinking. They have not become retail thinking. आज आपको लगता है solar water heater होना चाहिए. It can be above my house, So in many ways, this change of mindset is for us good news. The tough news is, in this period also, global warming has increased. We can see it. Glaciers are melting, weather patterns are changing, extreme climate events are happening, and there are visible challenges. I feel when I spoke about leapfrogging, we can build, when you talk of Viksit Bharat, you can build a much more green, sustainable, climate-friendly Viksit Bharat, which will allow us to, your phone knows more about you than you do.
Yes.
So it is important, actually, I would say, even as personality development, even as personal qualities, to keep that in mind. But ये आज narrative, I mean, again, लोग कहते हैं ये narrative की competition, but narrative should also have some basis. If I say, अच्छा, I keep saying things, but मैंने किया कुछ नहीं, at some stage narrative is not sustainable. Finally, narrative has to have a record. I think that's also something we need to bear in mind.
Right, sir. Before taking any further question, एक क्वेश्चन सर मेरे मन में आ रहा था कि हम जो विजन फॉर 2047 की बात करते हैं, विकसित भारत की बात करते हैं, 30 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी की बात करते हैं, तो हमारी गवर्नमेंट की जो थोड़ी सी पॉलिसीज हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ शेयर करते हैं, विच आर रिलेटेड विद द यूथ, कि जिससे हम ये जो टारगेट्स हैं हमारे 2047 का, 30 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी का, वो हम जल्दी से जल्दी अचीव कर पाएँ.
इसका जो जवाब जो है, in a way it is in front of you. आपको ये पहचानना होगा. It is actually answer is in front of you, and I'll tell you why answer is in front of you. I give you example. We say today, bhai, let us improve health. Okay, health means even before babies are born, prenatal health, then poshan, then अच्छा चलिए सबको स्कूल में दाखिल करते, improve the school, keep more girls joining school and retain them in school.
Right.
Okay. फिर आप मिड डे मील की बात करते हैं. Then you will say अच्छा as they get older, let us look at आयुष्मान भारत, ऐसे चलिए हेल्थ का ख्याल रखते हैं. Then they have now reached, the age when many children drop out of school. So you have to say नहीं आप पढ़ाइए, बेटियों को this issue also. So and then increase manufacturing. Then you try to say अच्छा वो farmer जो है they should get the right price, they should get export access. So what happens is you actually have, and this goes all the way till pension, till pension, till health for elderly people, housing. आप कहते हैं कि अच्छा जिसके पास घर नहीं है, most people don't realize कि in the last 10 years we have actually built 40 million houses in this country. It's a very big number. हमारे क्योंकि ये रोज होता है. We don't, the daily change stops becoming a change. आपको लगता है कि भाई ये बहुत स्वाभाविक है, ये नेचुरल नहीं, पहले होता नहीं था, अभी भी कुछ जगह है जहाँ होता नहीं. So this preparation for Viksit Bharat. Now this is one part of it. Infrastructure is another. When you say चलिए, because we are sitting here, चलिए राजधानी से तो शुरू करते हैं. Let us have better roads, better metro, more metro lines, more airport, as I said, more colleges, better schools. So if you do not build up your human resources, see, at the end of the day, what are countries? Countries are people. The better educated they are, the more opportunity they get, higher creativity they will. So it is not a simple problem. It has, I would say, millions, crores of moving parts. And for somebody running the government, that's why when one of the things I will tell you, for me was a great difference, जो आपने कहा bureaucrat और minister. जब मैं bureaucrat था, मुझे अपनी ministry की फिक्र करनी पड़ती थी. Okay, I knew my business. मुझे 40 साल लगे, I knew my ministry. Okay, I worked very hard. But once I became a minister, I saw what everybody in the government was doing. Cabinet meeting में you are discussing भाई वो fertilizer, nano soil card का improvement कैसे करें, nano fertilizer कैसे लाएं, drone policy है, technology, semiconductor को कैसे आगे करें, how do we build an infrastructure, कितने road बनाएं, कहाँ metro लगाएं. So you get a all-round picture, which even the best bureaucrat doesn't have, but which actually the person who is part of a cabinet, who is a minister, who has a developmental view. Today I've lived in Delhi. For me, I went abroad, but always came back to Delhi. This is my home. But in last 5 years, I have learned so much about Delhi. From the state of the river to extending, how many expressways there should be, to why there are not enough colleges, why there are colonies without piped water. No, these are not things I would have known before. So, but all this is happening. Until all of this happens, this is the way to Viksit Bharat.
आपने बिल्कुल ये राइट पॉइंट के ऊपर ये बात बोली कि विकसित भारत के साथ साथ हमें विकसित दिल्ली भी चाहिए, लेकिन जो पिछले 11 साल से हम देख रहे हैं वो है फ्रीबीज. तो व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन, और यू कैन डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन फ्रीबीज एंड एम्पावरमेंट.
If you, first of all, let me say, in many ways, we are all very fortunate people. We are fortunate people that We have, many of us from our family circumstances, we have taken many things for granted. Not everybody in the country, not everybody even in Delhi, will have the same advantage. After all, हर कोई college तो नहीं जाता ना.
बिल्कुल सर.
हाँ? So what happens is there are people who say भाई ये market पे छोड़ दो. A problem with markets and is they look after the top part of the society, and the people who are left behind are continually left behind. So I think sensible policies, particularly developing countries, is it is the government's responsibility. It's the state's responsibility to make a special effort for these people. Now, जो आप freebies कहते हैं, see, if I go around making promises which are not serious, for which I have done no planning, for which I have not resourced, for which there is no way of delivery, or हो सकता मेरा इरादा भी नहीं है to deliver, I call that a free, But if you are doing, social programs which are meant for betterment of people, whose results will be visible in the economy, which is good for the society, which is good for the economy, I think we should have a positive attitude towards that. So I do feel today, today for me, health, as I said, health, house, water, electricity, these should not be luxuries in 2025. ये सबका हक बनता है, and it is our duty, in the government to ensure that these should be our basic standards which all citizens should aspire to.
So if you allow, we can take two questions together. From this side. Yeah.
Hello sir, I am Abhijit and I am a history honors student. Sir, here we are talking about the Viksit Bharat, and we see the historical injustice which has been done to India during the colonial period, and there is a recent report by Oxfam titled Takers Not Makers, in which it is mentioned like there are some amount of 60-70 trillion money extracted out to India from India during the colonial period, and that historical injustice still shapes the contemporary society and economy of India. So what's your take on that? I mean, there is a report on that, and should we ask for some apology or some repatriations, something kind of that? What's your take on that? Thank you, sir.
So shall we take one more question? Yeah, one more question. Yes.
सर नमस्ते सर, मेरा नाम क्षितिज अवस्थी है, मैं असिस्टेंट रजिस्ट्रार हूँ SOL में. बट सर आई एम सॉरी, मेरा क्वेश्चन इस पोस्ट से बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. सर कल मैंने जब बताया अपने गांव पर कि मैं सर के प्रोग्राम में जा रहा हूँ, तो वहाँ पर मेरे जो पड़ोसी हैं, एक लेडी हैं मीरा दीदी, तो उन्होंने एक तो बोला था कि क्या मोदी जी भी वहाँ पर आ रहे हैं, तो मैंने बोला नहीं सर आ रहे हैं. तो उन्होंने बोला कि मैसेज दे देना कि पहुँच जाएगा वहाँ तक. सर मैंने खुद उनको देखा बचपन से, उनका कच्चा मकान ही रहता हमेशा, लेकिन 2018 में उनको पक्का घर मिला है और वो बहुत ही खुश हैं. तो पहला तो उनकी तरफ से थैंक्स है.
तो कहाँ रहते हैं?
सर फरुखाबाद के पास दूसरापुर गांव है, वहाँ पर. सर मैंने खुद देखा, मैं विटनेस हूँ वहाँ का. और सर मेरे पापा का थैंक्स है. तो सर हम फार्मर फैमिली से हैं, तो 2014 के बाद हमारी इनकम डेफिनेटली बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ी है. यूरिया की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई, दोनों ने भी थैंक्स बोला है, तो वो दो मैंने थैंक्स कन्वे किए हैं. अब सर मेरा क्वेश्चन मेरे दोस्तों का है, अगर मैं नहीं पूछूंगा तो वो मुझे घुसने नहीं देंगे. सर वो मेरे UPSC एस्पिरेंट है सारे दोस्त. सर जब आपका जितने भी आप जहाँ पर भी विजिट करते हैं, हमेशा हम लोग देखते हैं और वो UPSC के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जरूरी देखते हैं. तो सर जब आप पाकिस्तान गए थे, वहाँ पे आपकी जो SU विजिट थी, तो सर वहाँ पर आपका वेलकम हुआ, सब कुछ ठीक था. फिर आपने सर पॉकेट में हाथ लेके मोबाइल यूज करके निकाला था. तो सारे दोस्त मेरे कह रहे थे कि सर की बॉडी लैंग्वेज तो ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छी है, और सर ने जब मोबाइल निकाला है तो सर क्या मैसेज कर रहे हैं? क्या मोदी जी को कुछ बता रहे हैं या क्या सोच रहे हैं? इनको और पीछे ले जाना है या फिर नहीं पूछता तो मुझे आपको घुसने नहीं देंगे. सर पूरा संदर्भ आपके सामने रहेगा. थैंक यू सर.
We'll take one more question.
One more question. Please.
जय हिंद सर, मेरा नाम श्रीहर्ष अजय झा है. मैं इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स के सेकंड ईयर का विद्यार्थी हूँ. तो सर सबसे पहले तो मैं आपका बहुत बड़ा प्रशंसक हूँ. आपकी जो वाणी है वो गंगा के प्रवाह जैसी है. मतलब आप बोलते हैं तो मन नहीं करता कि चुप रहे, आप चुप हो जाए. मन करता है हम यहीं पे महात्मा में नहा लें, यहीं पे हमारा गंगा स्नान हो जाए आपकी वाणी से. तो सर मैं सवाल जो आपसे पूछ रहा था ये हमारी फॉरेन पॉलिसी से ही रिलेटेड है। तो हमारे हमेशा से दो एडवर्सरीज रहे हैं हमारी नेबर्स में, एक चाइना एक पाकिस्तान। और कुछ नेबर्स हमारे ऐसे थे जिन पे हम बैक कर सकते थे एक समय पे, जैसे नेपाल है, बांग्लादेश में शेख हसीना जब तक थी तब तक एक स्थिति ऐसी थी कि चिकन नेक कॉरिडोर का जो एक क्वेश्चन हमेशा उठता है उसको काउंटर करने के लिए बांग्लादेश बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था। अब जैसे मोहम्मद यूनुस आए हैं तो थोड़ा वहाँ पे डाइवर्जन देखने को मिला है। नेपाल में केपी ओली के समय से और उनके बाद से भी थोड़ा डाइवर्जन टुवर्ड्स चाइना देखने को मिला है। आप देखिए म्यांमार में आंग सान सू की के जाने के बाद वहाँ जो कूडियाट हुआ वहाँ से भी थोड़ा डाइवर्जन हुआ, इंडिया से अवे उनका भी शिफ्ट हुआ। देन हम्बन टोटा वाला केस हुआ जिसमें चाइना का कोई एलिजिडली स्पाई शिप था जो कि वहाँ डॉक किया डिस्पाइट ऑफ एफर्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया टू अवॉइड दैट। एंड उसके बाद जिबूती में चाइना अवेलेबल है एंड मिडिल ईस्ट में इंडिया इज अ बिग प्लेयर बट चाइना इज अ बिग प्लेयर टू। सेंट्रल एशिया में चाइना का इन्फ्लुएंस है। तो किस तरह से इंडिया चाइना को काउंटर बैलेंस कर रहा है, क्या स्ट्राइड्स हमारे फॉरेन पॉलिसी ले रही है? बिकॉज स्टेप्स लेने से तो अब काम नहीं चलेगा, इट्स अबाउट टेकिंग स्ट्राइड्स फॉर द फॉरेन पॉलिसी टू काउंटर चाइना। सो थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू फॉर द अपॉर्चुनिटी।
So one last, I think she's been.
Yes.
Okay.
माइक ले,
You need
माइक
mic?
भिजवाओ।
माइक दे दो पीछे।
Okay, one. Let's take this and take that.
थोड़ा सा-
Hang on a minute. She's got
First
the
of all,
Okay.
good morning, sir, and good morning all the teachers and dignitaries present here. Sir, and it's an absolute honor and pleasure to interact with you, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Hansraj College to providing us for this opportunity. So my question to you is, sir, diplomacy demands neutrality, while politics demands allegiance. Sir, as a seasoned diplomat turned minister, how do you master the tightrope walk between being neutral and being political without losing the either edge, sir? Thank you so much, sir. Please, I will...
One more question.
last.
एक माइक, रेड स्वेटर।
इसको दे दो
Red sweater.
गर्ल। हाँ अच्छा। Oh, we
Hello
miss
sir,
her.
my name is Hariti Sharma. I am final year student of Geography from Delhi School of Economics. Sir, my question is, हम POK वापस कब दे रहे हैं?
हाँ बताओ बोलो।
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Margi and I'm pursuing working hours. Sir, your journey has always been so motivating and encouraging. So, whom do you consider your biggest inspiration?
थैंक यू।
Okay. So we will conclude.
Yes, sir.
with this.
Okay, sir.
So your first question, Abhijit, no? Huh? Okay. So look, definitely during colonial period, you know, this country, I mean, was, you can say, robbed. I'll use whatever word you can. I don't think any word is too strong. But the fact was, huge wealth moved from India to UK. Okay. Now, we got independence after a long struggle. We are rebuilding our country. Now, what we have seen is the colonial powers, they are trying to, in a sense, minimize that period. Just say, वो हुआ ही नहीं, you know, put it on the side, चलिए, let us move on. That is the kind of policy that they have. What has also happened is the countries which were colonized, many of them are still fighting a battle to regain their strength. आप लोगों को लगता है like we would be like a average country like this. That is not true. We are among the countries who have rebuilt better. We are stronger. I go to many other countries in Africa, even other parts of Asia, Latin America. They really still, even now, don't have the strength, the capability, the confidence even to do that. So what we are trying to do is today, Modi ji had this policy of organizing the global south. So we are developing countries who mostly were colonized. That together, you know, अगर आप देखें इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम, वो 1960s 70s में बहुत सहते थे, you know, बहुत झेलते थे. Other people treated them very badly. But slowly they built up the strength. तो जब ये क्रिकेट वालों से मैं मिलता हूँ, I tell them, that क्रिकेट की कहानी और डिप्लोमेसी की कहानी एक किस्म से very similar. You know, we also need to contest. We also need to compete. We should say, okay, because जो हमारे पड़ोसी जो हैं उनकी भी अपनी राजनीति, और किसी भी राजनीति जो है वो एक जगह नहीं रहती, उसमें परिवर्तन होता है. तो ये नहीं है कि एक शासन है हमारे अनुकूल है तो हर समय वही शासन रहेगा. शासन बदलते हैं. हमें जो है सबके लिए प्लानिंग करनी होगी कि भाई ऐसा होगा तो ये प्लान है, वैसा होगा तो वो प्लान है. तो अभी जो है मैं कहूँगा हमारे पड़ोस में भी हैव वही देश जिसका नाम आपने लिया, नेपाल, बांग्लादेश, म्यांमार, श्रीलंका, मैं कहूँगा भूटान. अब इन सब देशों में वी हैव टू प्लान कि हमारे रिश्ते किस्म से माने परमानेंट कैसे रहे, कि जितना हम उनको हमारे साथ जोड़ सकते हैं, कि आर्थिक परिप्रेक्ष्य से जोड़ सकते हैं या कनेक्टिविटी में या ऊर्जा में या टूरिज्म में या एजुकेशन में, उतनी एक किस्म से स्टेबिलिटी होगी. तो हमें मान के चलना चाहिए कि हमारे पड़ोस में दूसरे देश जो हैं वो हमारे खिलाफ कुछ ना कुछ गतिविधियां करते जाएंगे. ये हमें मान के चलना चाहिए और हमें इसका जवाब जो है रिएक्टिव तरीके से नहीं, पहले से प्लान करके इसका सलूशन देना चाहिए. और वही विदेश नीति की आज जब हम कहते हैं नेबरहुड फर्स्ट, कि आप देखिए चेंजेस हुआ है. मैं जानता हूँ कुछ अभी, और कभी कभी थोड़ा समय भी लगता है, ये तुरंत नहीं होता. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि दूसरे साइड से दबाव आता है या कुछ हमारे बारे में ऐसी चीज़ें कहते हैं या करते हैं, तो इसकी भी अपनी टाइमिंग होती है. कभी जल्दी रिएक्ट करते हैं, कभी नहीं करते, कभी पब्लिक में करते हैं, कभी प्राइवेट में करते हैं. बट बॉटम लाइन ये होना चाहिए कि जो कंपटीशन, वो स्पर्धा की जो भावना जो है, दैट वी हैव टू कीप वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग विद इन अस. सो जो योर क्वेश्चन ऑन न्यूट्रलिटी एंड सी, डिप्लोमेसी इज नॉट अबाउट न्यूट्रलिटी, डिप्लोमेसी इज अबाउट ऑप्शन. मुझे फायदा है किसी के साथ जाने में, मैं विदाउट हेसिटेशन आई विल गो. आई हैव ओनली वन थिंग, national interest. Diplomacy is about national interest. So, if national interest requires me to go with somebody, I will go with somebody else, I will go. Beach mein rehna, I will stay. I have to do good things, I will do. If I have to do bad things, I will do. I have a single guidance. Is my country better off as a result of our action? So that is politics. In a way, you know, is because there is, जो आपने कहा, you use the word allegiance, okay? Because in politics is more, you are taking sides before, you know, but that applies more to domestic politics, you know. In when you get on the world stage, the same politics becomes diplomacy. Yeah. But there is some, I mean, you should be with friends. Credibility does count. Because if you are friend to, you know, people will be friends with you if they also believe that there is a loyalty there. So I'm not saying you should keep changing position. But at the end of the day, calculation should be, where does it help my country? And last question, the inspiration question. You know, look, you sometimes read very powerful books, किसी के ideas होते हैं, or you meet, you know, I still remember, to be very honest, I'm in a university. I still remember many of my teachers. Somewhere, everybody, you know, many of them left imprint on you, that, you know, I'm talking even to my colleagues and say, you know, that particular teacher, you know, they said this. Sometimes it can be family member. I mean, in my case, I had a father who was very prominent in I would say public life, not political life. Sometimes it can be, you know, it can be your boss. This particular one definitely.
So one last question from my side.
Okay.
Sir, last 2024 पूरे year में हमने national election देखा, different states का election देखा. Now we are going to the Delhi election also. So as soon as we are going to cast vote for our youth is going to cast vote for Delhi Assembly polls, what should a voter keep in mind before casting their vote? This young voter, intelligent voter, what they should keep in their mind?
Look, I make this observation as a general proposition. I think young people should always keep their own future in mind. And when they go to vote, when they are making a choice, because please go to vote. As I said, for me it is more important you vote. I'm confident when you go to vote, you will vote the right way. But how to get you to vote? That is the important. And people should ask themselves, actually, who is better for the country? Who is better for our prospects? Because at the end of the day, your personal prospects, your future and country's future is the same.
Yes.
You all have 50, 60, 70 years ahead of you. That 60, 70 years is actually going to define India. I tell people today it is the person who is 20 plus minus. They are actually the deciding generation, because we will talk and we will work towards Viksit Bharat, but you will see it. So keep that in mind.
So with this, I thank you from the core of my heart. और मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम पूरे गार्डन में पूरे दिन का भी प्रोग्राम करें तो शायद हमारे क्वेश्चंस खत्म नहीं होंगे सर, but it is really very motivating, and I request Dr. Alka to please give the formal vote of thanks.
Namaskar. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this truly enlightening and engaging session with our esteemed External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who has shared his insights on the role of youth in India's future and how our nation is navigating a rapidly changing world order. Thank you, sir, for your time and for sharing your wisdom. We are most thankful to you. A very special note of thanks for our Vice Chancellor, Professor Yogesh Singh, for giving the welcome address and setting the tone for today's interaction. Your leadership and vision has made it possible for us to participate in such meaningful conversations with policymakers and global leaders. Thank you, sir. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Professor Payal Mago, our moderator for the session today, for steering the conversation so seamlessly. Your well thought out questions and engaging dialogue with our guests today have brought clarity and depth to today's discussion. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank the organizing committee, faculty members, student volunteers, and support staff who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event a success. Finally, a big thank you to all the students who are present here today for your thought-provoking questions and active participation. Your curiosity and enthusiasm reflect the true spirit of Viksit Bharat, where youth take charge of the nation's future, and our commitment to understanding the world way beyond the classroom. Thank you, everyone.